everybody? Welcome back. If you don't know, my name is Cooper, and today we're going to be talking about my interior design journey. So, this is a little bit different from the topics that I normally talk about. I'm normally giving you guys advice on interior design stuff and your homes personally, but I thought it would be good to change it up because I do get quite a lot of questions about how I got started in interior design and how you guys can too, because I know that a lot of people out there might really want to go in design, but feel like they might not have the right tools or the right opportunities or might not know the right people. But I'm here to tell you guys my story when it comes to design and that it's not exactly such a straight path. Just to address the elephant in the room, yes, my apartment is a little bit messy and a little bit dirty right now, and that is because I'm going to be moving in about a week. And that's so exciting for me, and I'm very happy to get into my new space and show you guys the new space and all the content that we are going to make. Anyways, to start us off, I have always been super interested in interior design, and it's always been such a big passion of mine. Ever since I was a kid, I was always sketching out architectural plans and layouts. So I would draw like a side profile of a house or the front profile of a house, and for the longest time, I really wanted to become an architect. I quickly realized in my elementary and middle school career that this was not going to happen because I'm not somebody who loves math. I just don't like it very much. And so architecture, there's a lot of math involved, and there is an interior design too, but not exactly the field that I'm working in at the moment. So a little bit about me is when I was 18 and graduated high school, I went to college and I moved to Portland, Oregon to go to college. I'm actually still in college, and a lot of you guys might not know that, but I have always been extremely career oriented ever since I graduated high school. I never wanted to be the person that graduated college and had nothing to do, and I really never wanted to be the person that hated their job. I grew up in a household where my parents didn't exactly love what they did. I was always hearing them kind of look down on the jobs that they had done in the sense that it felt like a chore. And obviously, any job that you do is going to feel like a chore, but I always wanted something different for myself, and I always wanted to do something I was passionate about. Ever since I was a kid, I've always been rearranging my room, moving things around, trying out different styles, and I always loved decorating a room and seeing the final product and trying different styles in regards to that. Anyways, I went to college and I got my real estate license. I got a job at a real estate brokerage in Portland, and I ended up not liking it at all. Unfortunately, when you get your real estate license, you have to do at least 120 hours, I believe, of pre-licensing education. So I was going to college, I was working part-time at a bakery, and then I was also getting my real estate license all at the same time, and it was very stressful. Obviously, when I went into real estate, I had this really great passion for homes, but not necessarily the passion for bureaucracy and competition, which is kind of mostly what real estate revolves around. I think a lot of people have a perception of it that's like, oh, you're going and taking people to tour houses and selling the houses, contracts, all of that stuff. But there's so much more that goes in behind the scenes when it comes to all the paperwork and memorization and scripts that you have to do and the competitive nature that you have to have in order to succeed. Personally, I'm not exactly somebody who likes to be ruthless when it comes to working with other people. Real estate ended up not working out for me, unfortunately, which was really tough. I did have some success in it, but at the end of the day, it wasn't for me. And something that I always say to people that are trying to figure out what they want to do with their lives is that the best way to see if you are going to like something is experience in the position. And unfortunately, that means a lot of trial and error for everybody when it comes to selecting a career. I tried real estate, I really put a lot of work into it and a lot of time, and it ended up not working out for me. So after I left real estate, I was kind of in this middle position where I had saved up some money and was kind of focusing on college predominantly for the bit because the school that I go to is pretty prestigious and asks quite a lot of its students. And so working on top of that is not exactly easy sometimes. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was kind of panicking at this time and really wanted to figure out where I was going to land. So the next big step in my career was my decision to move forward into interior design. I would say this is the best decision that I could have made. I was very fortunate enough to be connected with an interior designer design firm overseas and get lots of work experience with them. This is where I gained the majority of my design experience, and I know a lot of people may frown upon this, but I am not somebody who is formally trained in interior design. I consider myself pretty knowledgeable when it comes to everything, having worked with an interior design firm and gaining skills from that, and having my real estate background where I know how to write up contracts and learned a lot of business. And then from that, I'm also an economics student, so all of the information that I take in with that goes towards my business and business decisions. And so really, it's such a mishmash of different things that have kind of brought me to the place that I'm at now. I'm incredibly grateful for all of the different experiences that I've had in the past, and I don't really regret anything that I've done. With that said, for you guys interested in pursuing interior design or pursuing interior decorating, the main thing that you need is experience. You don't necessarily have to get a degree in interior design to be successful at the job. What matters most here is your experience and your skill set. So a couple things that you can kind of do to start off and get yourself some traction and some notability is going to be getting those basic skills together. So a couple things that you can actually do is go to your local community college or local design school and just take a couple classes on the different softwares that interior designers and decorators use just in the process. I wanted to take a little break to talk about the sponsor of today's video, which is Coohom 3D interior design software. So as I was talking about, technical skills are extremely important when it comes to gaining experience in the industry and gaining a know-how. And Coohom is a software that I would highly recommend for people who may be either already in the industry or just looking to get started. It is extremely user-friendly and by far is the easiest software that I've learned how to use. Coohom allows you to do 2D and 3D designs with a library of thousands of different architectural components and furniture pieces to add to make a space exactly what you want. They have extremely advanced rendering software that allows you to create amazing looking renderings in under 5 seconds. They have 2K, 4K, and even 8K renderings to give you the result that you want. I use Coohom in my personal business, and it allows me to let my clients see renderings of different options, whether it be 2 different lamps, 2 different rugs, 2 different couches. That way they can see everything in the space before they make a decision. Sometimes it's better to see everything before you go and move all your furniture around, and Coohom's renderings are extremely advanced, and they even allow you to see your project in different times of the day to see how it will fluctuate from day to night and night to day. Something else that I really love about Coohom is you can even use it on your browser. This is something that is really great, especially if you're just starting out, because not all of us can afford a fancy bougie gaming laptop that has the ability to run these crazy softwares. But Coohom, there's no need. You can run it on your browser and in the desktop program, and it will not crash your computer at all. If you want a little bit more about Coohom, check out the description of this video. And thank you to Coohom again for sponsoring. Go check them out. The next thing that you want to do is absorb as much information as possible from every source that you can find. Reading interior design books, looking through old magazines and articles are really key in helping to get this foundation of interior design. There are a lot of technical elements that you really do need to be successful, but you want to get as much of foundation that you can before trying to pursue a job opportunity or experience. Because if you go in and you call up all the design firms in your city or your town and they say, oh, well, you're not a design student. Oh, well, you don't have any work experience. Oh, well, you're not knowledgeable on any of this stuff. You're not going to get hired and you're not going to get any form of opportunity in that position. I think that goes for any job. The next thing after that is going to be trying to get a job opportunity, which is very, very difficult. I will say that even when I was working a minimum wage job, I think I had to apply to 30 different places before I got a position, and the job that I got was a nighttime bakery delivery driver. Not a very cute job. I had to, get up in the middle of the night, drive to the bakery, pack up a bunch of pastries, drive it around to all the different cafes in Portland, and then go to class after that and continue on my day, which is not enjoyable. But you really have to put in the effort to try and get an opportunity. You cannot just sit on your butt and wait for one to come to you. You need to be proactive. You need to go into the design firms, you need to call them, you need to email them, you need to get on LinkedIn and reach out to people in that industry. It's really, really important to try your hardest here. And I think a lot of people, when they're watching this video, might underestimate how hard exactly you have to try, but you have to be so repetitive and not take no for an answer when it comes to trying to find somewhere to work. If somebody says, oh, you know what? No, we don't want you. Fine, move on and look for the next place. Don't sit there and don't wallow about it. If they don't want you, then why do you want them? It's not worth your time. And eventually, hopefully, you will land on one. Something that I will also say is you're also going to have to work at this time when you're trying to find a job. I'm not going to make any assumptions about anyone's situation, but for most people, they need to support themselves financially. And so you have to work while you're trying to find a job because you don't even know if that job is going to pay you or if it's just going to be some kind of internship opportunity. But it really only does take one person to say yes and let you on their team and get you that experience that you so badly need. Once I've gotten my experience from the interior design firm that I work with overseas, of which I am still working with and still doing projects with to this day, I brought myself back to the US and I said, you know what? I like interior design, but what really gave me the most satisfaction when it came to working was being able to help specific individual people change their space into something that they love. No matter if they have $1 million budget or a $200 budget, working with that and seeing the look on their face and seeing their space after and how happy they were with it. This was kind of one of the key drivers that drove me into creating my own interior decorating business. Interior design and interior decorating is reserved for the wealthy. That is a fact. Most people cannot go out and hire an interior designer for their house because most people can't afford to pay them 25% of their budget because that is what a lot of interior designers and decorators charge. And so I wanted to do something really different and kind of come at it from a more accessible approach. So it means a lot to me to maybe give somebody that might not be in the 1% an opportunity to have a beautiful space because I truly believe that everybody deserves to have a beautiful space and a space that they love. And I don't think that money should prevent that. And I don't think it has to. I think we've set up a system for a lot of interior designers and decorators to profit off of and gain a lot of money, but it doesn't have to be that way. And so that's kind of really what inspired my business. I would consider my interior decorating business very boutique and very personal. When I sign on a client, it is a client for life. And that means after we're done with the project that they can talk to me, they can send me a question, bounce things off of me, and I'm happy to answer them. I'm not going to charge them for that. They are a acquaintance from then on. And so, after I started my interior decorating business, I was pretty successful in it immediately, which I felt very lucky about. And then when I started making YouTube videos, it just grew even more and more and more. You guys have been extremely supportive of my content and gotten so much from it, and for that I am so grateful. You guys are one of the main reasons as to why I even have the ability to move into a place like the place I'm moving into. So it really does mean a lot that I have gotten so much recognition for what I'm doing. For anybody who's trying to get into a career that they're passionate about or something that they love and feel like it might not be possible or think that they're too far from it, there is always a way around the system without having to pay tens of thousands of dollars for an education and to break yourself into the industry. You just have to maybe work a little bit harder than those people to do so. You guys, it does take a lot of work ethic and a lot of discipline to get to the place that I have gotten to. And so I want to be honest and straightforward. There are going to be days where you don't want to work, but you have to sit yourself down at your desk or go to that minimum wage job that you hate and get things done so you can work to get to a place that you want to be at and feel much more comfortable in. And I understand that, this might not apply to everybody. I think we're all dealt different cards, whether that be situational or just the structure of the society that we live in, unfortunately. But I really do think that if you believe in something enough, you can make it happen. I know that sounds a little bit cringy to say, but it is true. And you really just have to put your mind to it and do it with all of your effort and your being. Another thing that I do want to mention when it comes to going after the career that you want, whether that's interior design or something else, it is important to have your heart in it and also have passion for whatever you're doing. Because as soon as something starts to get hard and your heart isn't in it or you're not passionate about it, you're going to hate it. Unfortunately, that is the truth. That is why it didn't work out with me in real estate. That is why I had to work these miserable jobs. But in the end of things, I've been lucky enough to come out in a place where I am successful in what I've done. I haven't had the most experience out of anybody in the world. I'm only 20 years old, so there's so much more to learn from here on out. But I just wanted to share with you guys my story on how I got here and that it is possible for other people to do. I hope this video helped you guys in any way, and if you have any questions about how I got here or about yourselves, I'm happy to give you guys my advice in the comments. I know this was a little bit of a different setup from usual, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. As usual, you can find me on Instagram at Cooper Osinski Interiors, or you can visit my website cooperosinski.com, where you can find a ton of information about me and my business and book a consultation with me and hopefully be signed as one of my clients. I would absolutely love to help you with anything you need. I hope you guys are having a great day, whatever day you are watching this, and I'll see you next time. Bye!